Hi everyone, it's Jody from An Eye for Beauty, and today is Sunday, October 16th, 2022. And this message is for this week or whenever it is that your eyes are falling upon this message. I am choosing 3 cards today, so I'm going to pick them now for us. And you can decide if you want to go with card number 1, card number 2, or card number 3. Ooh. Wow, we got a lot of stuff coming out. That's too much, so we're not going to go with that. So we'll do card number 3 again. Card number 3. Well, for whatever reason, the 3 position wants more than 1 card, so we're going to go with it. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a crystal on each card. And we're going to talk about the crystal and see what the relevance is behind the card that is associated with the crystal. So you decide if you want to go with card 1, card 2, or card 3. All right, let's start with card number 1. Okay, so card number 1 is the prosperity card. So maybe you have felt like you have been, planting seeds. Look here. Maybe it's been years even that you feel like you've just been continuously planting seeds or doing the work, but you're not seeing the results that you imagine. Now, the first thing that I want to say is a lot of times what we envision is not always what God envisions for us. Typically, it's in a different manner, and when we look back, it's always something even better. But we can't see it in that moment, so it makes it very hard for us to see what's in the unknown phase. But if you look at this card and you see that the tree has been planted, the roots are in the ground, and there's these pieces of fruit that are starting to develop, but maybe not fully to fruition, what this card is saying is that you probably have seen blips of prosperity or blips of abundance or blips of magic, blips that make you keep going, knowing that what you're putting together or what you're creating is going to develop into something amazing, and it is what is allowing you to keep moving forward. This card is saying to you, keep going forward. You're at the beginning stages. You're at the number 1. If you look here, you're at the number 1, and number 1 is the beginning of a new cycle. So just keep going because good is coming your way. Have patience. And the crystal that we put on top of the card is this crystal. And this crystal is the hematite crystal. And what this does is it repels negativity, repels negative energy, or repels any what I would call psychic attacks that are coming at you. So let's say you're beginning to develop in your abundance and your prosperity, and there's someone watching you and they're jealous of your success. And what they might be doing is imagine throwing, whether it's physical words, daggers towards you, or just emotional, just maybe in the feelings or in the mental state, they're thinking about it and it's negative energy coming at you. And what happens is it goes through our cord, which is coming from your solar plexus, and it's coming from your belly button area, and actually from their belly button area coming towards you, and that's what we call a psychic attack. So what the hematite crystal does is it helps to protect your energy. It helps to clear and protect the energy field. So when we're in this beginning stages of prosperity, don't let negativity, don't let naysayers, or just keep yourself in this protective shield by carrying this crystal around so that any negativity that might be portrayed at you will not get to you. Another trick that you can do is call upon Archangel Michael and ask him to put you in a bubble of his sapphire blue light, which shields and protects you from any low negative energies, only allowing in the vibration of love. So that's where we're beginning, and hopefully that resonates with the people that chose card number 1. And funny, card number 1 has the number 1 on it. So now we're going to go to card number 2. Card number 2 is the solar plexus chakra. And the solar plexus chakra is what we were just talking about. We were talking about that psychic attack that comes through the cord. So before I continue, I want to pull another card that goes with that card. So let's just see. Okay. So the card says, see with your heart. The time is now to hear the messages. So when we are looking at these two cards together, what this is saying is that you maybe in the past have allowed a situation or a relationship to take your power away. And oftentimes when that happens, the solar plexus chakra gets closed off, but so does the throat chakra because we don't speak our truth, and so does the heart chakra because we guard our heart in order to not get hurt. And even in these situations when people are coming at you, attacking you, being negative towards you, what happens is because we close the heart and guard the heart, we're not letting anything in, obviously not the bad, but also not the good. And this card is asking you, is there a way in which for you to move forward where you can keep your power, not give it away, and look at things from a more compassionate standpoint, from more of a heart-based standpoint? Can you look at things with your heart? So I'm going to give you an example because this may not be a little confusing for you. So when we're in a situation, let's take the world events, because that is what we're seeing a lot of. We're seeing a lot of divisiveness, a lot of people having different opinions, really strong opinions one way versus another, and all different topics. I'm not choosing a topic. You decide what the topic is. But in any case, when you're in, let's say you're in company of people, maybe, I don't know, I'm hearing the number 5. So let's say you're with 5 people, and 4 of those 5 people, so you're the only one essentially that has a different opinion. Everybody else has the same opinion. What we are going to find in the world is that there are going to be more people because it's easier and it's more comfortable to just agree. So there's going to be more people that are in an agreement on a topic and an opinion, and we're going to say that you're the outcast. You're the black sheep. You're the one that sees and has a different opinion. Potentially your different feeling is because you can see things from a higher perspective. Maybe you're looking at it from more of a neutral standpoint, and therefore you're able to see what is happening, but nobody else in that group of 5 can see what you see. So first, what do? You shut your throat off because you don't want to be different, so you just don't say anything. You might have an inner knowing, which is your sacral chakra, the point below your belly button, but you don't speak it. You say nothing. And then what happens is these 4 people keep talking about it and talking about it, and it starts to bubble up inside your belly, your solar plexus chakra, and you start to feel this whatever, anger, resentment, whatever is coming up for you, you start to feel that it bubbles inside the belly. Now, if you keep the throat chakra closed, guess what happens? All that energy sits inside the belly and it just stays stagnant. And what happens is now we give our power away to the other 4 people, or that opinion or that thought that they were discussing, because we didn't stand in our power. We didn't stand in our truth. Okay? Now what happens is, now I didn't speak it, now I didn't say anything, now it bubbled up inside my belly, it's stuck in the chakra system. That's where we have the stagnancy. That's where Reiki can help to clear the flow, but that's a side note. What happens now is you're being asked to, instead of getting angry and going in the head, which is where your ego lives, can you go in the heart? Can you go in the heart instead and say in your mind or in your heart or in your body, let's just put it that way, can you say to yourself, it's not worth it for me to get involved in this conversation. They see it one way, I see it another way. Instead, let me have compassion, because we're all at different levels, and let me just sit in my heart and offer compassion to the whole entire situation, and compassion to myself for getting angry or getting upset or closing my throat or closing my solar plexus and allowing it to get to me. Can I detach and can I come into the heart? Can I see things more from a place of the heart. Understanding that we are all connected at the end of the day. We all come from one universal energy, one God, one creator, even if we come on this earth to learn different lessons through different experiences. Can I see with the heart? So card number 2 is asking you to do just that. Can you do that? Where in your life have you been doing that? Maybe you have been dabbling in doing that more so, or taking yourself out of a situation. If there's 5 people and you're the only one of the 5 that thinks one way, the other 4 are having this heated discussion about something that you don't even feel, can you say, I'll be right back, I'm going to the bathroom, or I'm going to go take a walk outside, or just excuse yourself. Take yourself out of the situation. That is you standing in your power and utilizing the power of the solar plexus chakra, not keeping yourself in a situation that's going to cause you any feeling or emotion that you don't need to have. So there's different ways in which to walk through situations such as the one that I just explained to you. The crystal here is the black obsidian, and it is similar to the hematite. Now, the hematite is actually more of a magnetic shield. So what happens with people when they have hematite is, let's say they're wearing a hematite bracelet. It's even whatever's going on in the electromagnetic environment. And what will happen is the hematite ring or the bracelet will fall, crack, break. That means it did its job. It took on all the negativity that was coming at you. You didn't receive it. The hematite did. And when it broke, it did its job. It's time to say thank you, bless it, and let it go. Throw it away. Get a new one. Whereas the black obsidian, this is just like a barrier. So I have these all over my house, and what it does is it wards off negative energy. It wards off anything that you do not want coming at you. So they have similar properties, but this one is definitely something that is more of a magnetic than this one. So this one also helps to ground you. And when you're in a situation that I just discussed, sometimes we do need that grounding so we don't get in the head, we don't react, we don't get fiery, we just kind of decide in our own power how we're going to proceed. Let's move on to card number 3. So 2 cards wanted to come out. Love begins and triumph. Okay. So the number 7 is on this card. And again, we have the number 1, but it's a different color. So let's talk about that quickly. In card number 1, the color is red. That's the root chakra. That is your materialistic prosperity is coming. And of course, other prosperity is coming. But when we're planting seeds, that's a foundation that we're creating. And that's a solid one. That's something that's more tangible. That is something that you have begun to create here in card number 1. But in card number 3, what's happening, if you really base it off of what we just discussed in card number 2, the more that you're able to not react and to get in the heart and get out of the head is when you are going to receive the emotional, spiritual prosperity, which comes from being heart-centered and reacting in a way that is more loving to everybody. And even when your emotions, which is water, representative of, when your emotions are dripping out, you're coming more from a place of love. It's a different feeling. It's a different energy. It's a higher frequency. And what this card is saying is by doing this, you're triumphant even in the material prosperity. Because the more that you do that, you are having this expansion in your energy field. You're growing. What happens is we grow wider and we grow higher. And when we grow higher in our spiritual growth, we are able to see things from a higher plane, from a higher perspective, which means that we're not as reactive. We're not as in the mind making our decisions as we might have been in the past. And lastly, the tiger's eye. Tiger's eye is all about standing in your power. And that's what happens when you do this. So if you chose card number 3, good job. Keep it going. So I hope that in today's reading, there was something that helped you, supported you, guided you. I wish you all a great week. Make sure to like this and share it and subscribe. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.